Few figures loom as large as Noam Chomsky in intellectual history. His revolutionary ideas reshaped our understanding of language. Chomsky proposed that humans are born with an innate capacity for language termed universal grammar. This concept became a cornerstone of Chomsky's generative grammar, revolutionizing the field. In 1957, Chomsky's syntactic structures ignited a linguistic revolution. He introduced generative grammar, arguing language is a system of rules allowing infinite sentence generation. Chomsky's focus on the creative aspect of language was a significant departure from structuralist approaches. His work transformed linguistics into a dynamic, theoretically rich field. At the heart of Chomsky's revolution is universal grammar, UG. UG allows children to acquire language rapidly despite incomplete input. It provides a blueprint for constructing mental grammar underlying all human languages. This concept remains a cornerstone of generative linguistics. Chomsky's work expanded from syntax to the relationship between syntax and semantics. He developed frameworks like government and binding theory and the Minimalist Program. Chomsky shifted linguistics from static rules to dynamic cognitive processes. His legacy lies in transforming the field and probing the depths of the human mind. Chomsky and Reini Huybrecht's partnership has significantly advanced our understanding of language. Their dialogue explores lexical grammar and the mental lexicon. They challenge each other's theories, refining ideas through rigorous debate. Their collaboration highlights the dynamic nature of generative grammar. Central to their discussion is the lexicon, a dynamic mental dictionary. They explore how words are represented and interact with grammar. Lexical rules, like derivation and compounding, are constrained by universal principles. This discussion reveals the innate human capacity for language. Transformations in generative grammar shape sentence structure. They explain relationships between active-passive sentences and WA questions. Transformations are governed by universal principles, ensuring grammatical sentences. The deep structure represents meaning, while surface structure reflects form. Chomsky and Huybrecht analyze real-world language data. They highlight commonalities and variations across languages. Generative grammar provides explanatory theories for language formation. Their analysis showcases the power of generative grammar in understanding human language. Chomsky and Henk van Riemsdyk discuss grammar's structure and cognitive interfaces. Van Riemsdyk's work on grammatical relations and syntax-semantics interface is celebrated. Their dialogue explores the architecture of language and grammatical rules. Insights reveal how meaning is encoded in language. Section 2. Delving into grammar, the architecture of language. Chomsky and Van Riemsdyk explore generative grammar, focusing on abstract rules that generate infinite sentences. They delve into sentence structure, grammatical categories, and the principles of word combination. Movement in syntax and its constraints are also discussed, revealing language's hidden complexity. This analysis deepens our appreciation for the human capacity to create and understand language. Section 3, exploring interfaces connecting grammar to meaning and sound. The conversation between Chomsky and Van Riemsdyk extends beyond the internal workings of grammar to explore its interfaces with other cognitive systems, particularly semantics, the study of meaning, and phonology, the study of sound systems in language. They emphasize that language is not simply a self-contained system of rules. but a complex cognitive faculty that interacts with other systems to produce and interpret meaningful utterances. They discuss the interface between syntax and semantics, exploring how the structure of a sentence contributes to its meaning. They examine how different grammatical constructions, such as active and passive sentences, can convey subtle differences in meaning, even when the underlying events being described are the same. Chomsky and van Riemsdyk also delve into the interface between syntax and phonology, exploring how the structure of a sentence influences its pronunciation. They discuss phenomena such as stress assignment, where certain syllables in a sentence are pronounced with greater emphasis, and intonation, the rise and fall of pitch that conveys different meanings and emotions in speech. Their discussion highlights the interconnectedness of different aspects of language, demonstrating how grammar, meaning, and sound work together in a seamless and intricate dance to create the rich tapestry of human communication. They emphasize that a complete understanding of language requires not only an analysis of its individual components, but also an understanding of how these components interact and influence each other. To Section 4, Universal Grammar Revisited, Refining the Blueprint. Throughout their conversation, Chomsky and van Riemsdyk revisit the concept of universal grammar, the innate linguistic endowment that Chomsky argues underlies the human capacity for language acquisition. They discuss how the principles of universal grammar constrain the possible forms that human languages can take, providing a blueprint for the construction of a mental grammar. They explore how children, despite being exposed to a finite and often imperfect linguistic input, are able to acquire the complex grammar of their native language within a remarkably short period. They argue that this extraordinary feat is possible because children are not starting from scratch, but are equipped with an innate linguistic blueprint that guides their language learning process. Chomsky and van Riemsdyk discuss the challenges and complexities of defining the precise content of universal grammar, acknowledging that it remains a subject of ongoing research and debate within generative linguistics. However, they emphasize that the core idea of an innate language faculty remains a cornerstone of the generative enterprise, providing a powerful framework for understanding the remarkable human capacity for language. Their discussion underscores the enduring legacy of Chomsky's revolutionary ideas, which continue to shape the field of linguistics and inspire new generations of scholars to unravel the mysteries of human language. The dialogue between Chomsky and van Riemsdyk serves as a testament to the power of intellectual collaboration and the ongoing quest to understand the nature of language, one of the most remarkable and defining characteristics of our species. Section 1. Bridging Continents. Chomsky and Fukui's Collaborative Exploration. The Generative Enterprise Revisited showcases Noam Chomsky and Naoki Fukui's intellectual exchange, bridging continents and cultures. Their collaboration exemplifies the universality of scientific pursuit and the power of diverse perspectives. Fukui's work on grammar, especially the Minimalist Program, has been groundbreaking. His research on East Asian languages challenges traditional grammatical assumptions. Chomsky and Fukui's dialogue reveals the principles governing human language. Their rigorous discussions refine ideas through intellectual sparring. Their conversation explores the depths of language structure and its hidden mechanisms. Chomsky and Fukui illuminate the elegant architecture of language. Section 2. Unveiling the Universals. Probing the depths of language structure. At the heart of Chomsky and Fukui's discussion lies the concept of universal grammar, the innate linguistic endowment that Chomsky argues underlies the human capacity for language acquisition. They revisit the fundamental tenets of universal grammar, exploring its implications for our understanding of language structure, language variation, and the nature of the human mind. Chomsky and Fukui delve into the hierarchical organization of sentences, examining how words are combined into phrases and clauses and how these units are assembled into larger syntactic structures. They discuss the role of grammatical categories, such as nouns, verbs, and adjectives, in determining the combinatorial possibilities of language and shaping the well-formedness of sentences. They explore the concept of movement in syntax, where constituents within a sentence can be displaced from their original position to create different grammatical constructions while preserving the underlying meaning. Chomsky and Fukui discuss how these movements are constrained by specific principles, ensuring that only grammatically acceptable sentences are generated. Their conversation highlights the remarkable similarities in the basic building blocks and organizational principles of languages across the globe, despite their apparent surface diversity. Chomsky and Fukui's analysis suggests that these underlying commonalities reflect the constraints imposed by universal grammar, a blueprint for language that guides the acquisition and processing of all human languages. Section 3. Parameters of variation illuminating linguistic diversity. While Chomsky and Fukui emphasize the universality of the principles underlying human language, they also acknowledge the significant diversity observed in the world's languages. They discuss how generative linguistics, particularly within the framework of the principles and parameters approach, seeks to account for both their commonalities and variations across languages. They introduce the concept of parameters, a set of switches within universal grammar that can be set to different positions, resulting in the surface variations observed across languages. These parameters, often compared to a menu of options in a computer program, allow for a finite number of variations within a highly constrained system, explaining how a single underlying grammar can give rise to the diversity of human languages. Chomsky and Fukui illustrate the concept of parameters with concrete examples from different languages. For instance, they discuss the head directionality parameter, which determines whether the head of a phrase precedes its complements, as in head initial languages like English, or follows them, as in head final languages like Japanese. Their discussion highlights the elegance and explanatory power of the principles and parameters approach, demonstrating how a single underlying grammatical system, coupled with a limited number of parametric variations, can account for the remarkable diversity of human languages while maintaining a commitment to the universality of the human language faculty. Section 4. The Minimalist Program, striving for elegance and explanatory power. Chomsky and Fukui's conversation culminates in a discussion of the Minimalist Program, a highly influential research program within generative linguistics that seeks to further refine and simplify our understanding of the human language faculty. The Minimalist Program, championed by both Chomsky and Fukui, represents a drive towards theoretical elegance and explanatory power, striving to identify the minimal set of principles necessary to account for the complexities of language. They discuss the key tenets of the Minimalist Program, including the notion of economy of derivation, which posits that grammatical operations should be as simple and efficient as possible, and the idea of interface conditions, which constrain the possible interpretations of sentences based on their syntactic structure. Chomsky and Fukui explore how the Minimalist Program attempts to reduce the complexity of earlier generative theories by eliminating unnecessary components and deriving grammatical operations from a small set of fundamental principles. They argue that this pursuit of theoretical minimalism reflects a deeper quest to uncover the fundamental nature of language and its place within the broader cognitive architecture of the human mind. Their discussion leaves us with a sense of the dynamism and intellectual ferment that characterize the field of generative linguistics. The Minimalist Program, with its emphasis on simplicity, elegance, and explanatory power, represents an ongoing effort to refine our understanding of language and to probe the depths of the human mind. A Meeting of Minds, Chomsky and Zushi. The Generative Enterprise Revisited features a stimulating dialogue between Noam Chomsky and Mihoku Zushi, exploring the phenomenon of ellipsis. Zushi's research on ellipsis challenges traditional notions of sentence structure and meaning. Their dialogue exemplifies the collaborative spirit of scientific inquiry. Chomsky and Zushi's insights invite us to explore the unspoken elements of language. delving into ellipsis. Unveiling the unspoken in language. Chomsky and Zushi explore ellipsis, where words are omitted but meaning is inferred. They discuss types like verb phrase ellipsis, sluicing and gapping. Ellipsis challenges traditional grammar, showing meaning can be conveyed without complete sentences. It reveals the sophisticated mechanisms of our everyday communication. Section 3, exploring the interface of syntax and semantics. The conversation between Chomsky and Zushi extends beyond the specific phenomenon of ellipsis to encompass broader questions about the relationship between syntax, the structure of sentences and semantics, the study of meaning in language. They discuss how ellipsis, by requiring listeners to infer the meaning of omitted material, provides valuable insights into the interaction between these two components of the human language faculty. Chomsky and Zushi explore the idea that ellipsis is licensed by semantic parallelism, meaning that the omitted material must be semantically similar to some other part of the sentence or discourse. For example, in the sentence "John likes coffee, Mary does too," the verb phrase "likes coffee" is elided in the second clause because it is semantically parallel to the same verb phrase in the first clause. They discuss how the interpretation of elliptical sentences relies on our ability to access contextual information and to make inferences based on our knowledge of the world. For instance, in the sentence "John went to the store, but I don't know what he bought," we infer that John bought something at the store even though this is not explicitly stated. Chomsky and Zushi's discussion highlights the dynamic interplay between syntax and semantics in language processing, demonstrating that our understanding of a sentence is not simply a matter of decoding the meaning of individual words, but involves a complex interplay of linguistic knowledge, contextual cues, and inferential processes. Section 4, the future of generative linguistics, expanding the horizons. As Chomsky and Zushi delve deeper into the intricacies of ellipsis and its implications for our understanding of language, their conversation naturally leads to reflections on the future of generative linguistics and the broader field of cognitive science. They discuss the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead for researchers seeking to unravel the mysteries of the human language faculty. They emphasize the importance of cross-linguistic research, of studying a wide range of languages to test the universality of proposed linguistic principles and to uncover the full range of variation that human languages exhibit. Chomsky and Zushi highlight the valuable contributions that linguists working on less studied languages can make to our understanding of the human mind. Chomsky and Zushi also discuss the growing importance of interdisciplinary collaborations between linguists, psychologists, neuroscientists, and computer scientists. They argue that by combining insights and methodologies from different fields, we can gain a more complete understanding of how language is acquired, processed, and represented in the brain. Their conversation leaves us with a sense of the dynamism and intellectual vitality of generative linguistics. The study of ellipsis, with its focus on the unspoken elements of language, serves as a microcosm of the broader quest to understand the remarkable human capacity for language, a quest that continues to captivate and inspire researchers across disciplines. Section 1, Enduring Legacies, Chomsky and the Generative Enterprise. Noam Chomsky's generative grammar has profoundly impacted linguistics. Conversations with scholars reveal its evolution from syntax to cognition. Chomsky's intellectual rigor and belief in human reason shine through. The generative enterprise is a testament to our quest to understand language. Language reveals the intricate mechanisms of thought and creativity. Chomsky's New Forward highlights the ongoing relevance of his work. The dialogues inspire intellectual curiosity and rigorous analysis. Section 2, A Continuing Voyage, the Uncharted Territories of Language. The journey into the heart of language, as charted by Chomsky, is far from over. The generative enterprise, revisited, leaves us with a sense of the vast, uncharted territories that remain to be explored. the intricate connections between language and other cognitive faculties that are yet to be fully understood, and the profound implications that our growing knowledge of language holds for fields as diverse as education, artificial intelligence, and philosophy. The Minimalist Program continues to guide much of the research in generative linguistics, seeking to identify the minimal set of principles necessary to account for the richness and complexity of human language. The study of language acquisition, particularly in young children, remains a fertile ground for exploring the interplay between innate linguistic knowledge and environmental input, shedding light on the remarkable human capacity for language learning. The investigation of the interfaces between language and other cognitive systems, such as perception, memory, and reasoning, is opening up new avenues for understanding how language shapes our experience of the world and how our thoughts and experiences in turn shape the language we use. The study of language variation, both within and across languages, continues to provide valuable insights into the diversity of human cultures and the adaptability of the human mind. As we venture further into the 21st century, the generative enterprise, inspired by Chomsky's groundbreaking work, continues to illuminate the path towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world we inhabit. The journey is ongoing, the challenges are many, but the rewards of unlocking the secrets of language, one of humanity's most precious and defining gifts, are immeasurable.